to send it over to the analysts for the world's cooldown. And boy, do we need a cooldown at this point.
Thank you so much. To kick this off, I want to make something incredibly clear. This is the first time ever in the history of VCS Second Seed attending the World Championship that they have won any best-of series. In 2019, they lost to Down One Gaming. 2020 and 21, there was no attending, as no one from the VCS was there. And in 2022, they lost to the Mad Lions. Today, Team Wales have made history for VCS as a region, as well as VCS's second seed. Now, before I get too far ahead of myself, I made the claim that Adam and Gods and BDS maybe had some magic on their side with the anthem, but maybe the opposite is true. Maybe there is a tradition that no matter which team represents LEC's play-ins representation, maybe it's just the LEC's lowest seed gets eliminated.
We're not there yet.
They're in a lower bracket. They're in a lower bracket. But I get nervous. And why do I get nervous? I want to talk about it. I have some visual aids to help along this discussion, but we were not happy with BDS's performance. I'm focusing on them because they're the team that were upset. I was incredibly impressed with Team Wales. I think they did play well. They earned the win. But as we bring up this first replay, Herald into River fight, we were scratching our heads. Gullborg was yelling a little bit at the screen. And I think let's talk holistically how and why BDS lost.
Well, I really want to hit this play here by Crowny. Just, you can see the panic because you shift forward onto Glory, who has no spells left after that E2 kind of runs out. He might W on top of you, but that's not going to kill you. You have Nuke in your back pocket, and the rest of the team has gone mid. There's no reason to flash out there, and that only happens because you're nervous. You're playing poorly. And I think that is something that is absolutely true. I don't want to take credit away from Team Wales because obviously they played incredible, but this is not the same. Yeah, both things can be true. BDS underperformed. Team Wales played very well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was pretty much what plagued them the entirety of this game. You see every single fight that they approach, they're just scared to pull the trigger. You take a look at other fights where they're 5 versus 4, they're scared to play the game. I've seen a lot of play-ins, all right? And even as a minor region, when they show up and they get stomped, most of the time when it looks bad for them, it's because they're outclassed, but they're still trying. Backs against the wall, they team fight because their macro's not always the best. I have not seen the team just straight up stand there and just lose, because while there was really good plays coming out from Team Wales, BDS just did not play League of Legends at all in the third game. They stood around. They didn't look for windows. Shio didn't get any ganks off in the early game either. We couldn't play around the Syndra stun too. I think that there was a lot of moments here where the same thing that plagued BDS in spring, where they lose one game, they completely lose it. That happened here. Like, I don't think you saw the right draft adaptations, and I certainly don't think like it felt like they connected to that game 3.
I mean, look, I've got one more replay from that game 3 that I do want to take a look at. It's again another frustrating team fight from the perspective of Team BDS. Maybe let's flip this, talk a little bit about what Team Wales did well, what we liked about their performance, because similarly, what BDS kind of didn't do much, Team Wales did push them. Team Wales did play the map.
Oh, absolutely. And I think every time that you see Artemis is just unlocked in a team fight, no one's touching him. Like, his spacing, the way that the team is playing around him, they buy so much ground as well. Glory under LeBlanc was super good with his sidestep every time on a Syndra QE. And I think in general, it's just way better team fighting from Team Wales. That is something where you have to give them credit. The team fights were phenomenal.
Yeah, I think Artemis is obviously they talked about being the player of the series, but he was the guy who they needed to kill, and they never once really got close to making that happen. He was incredible the whole time. I think Bay also had a better series than we were expecting. He had that really sick
right at the beginning of the game.
Yes, exactly. That flash predict hook, which started the snowball for Artemis yet again. He is incredible, but it did have the rest of the team setting him up over and over again in Game 2 and Game 3.
Ultimately, Team Wales come away with a 2-1 victory, and I think Munch really put it well, bouncing back from what was an embarrassing defeat in Game 1 to then hand BDS 2 dominant losses in Games 2 and 3. Very, very impressive stuff.
Well, they also stopped playing the mini-game, the Adam mini. We kind of talked about that, where they did not opt into taking Ignite on their top laner, trying to out-Adam. And when you start playing towards your strengths, I think that does go a long way towards that turnaround that you saw from Game 1 to Game 2 and 3.
Exceptionally well played. Team Wales pulling up a bit of a surprise. I mean, they're going to advance in the bracket. It will set us up then for Loud to face PSG and Oysters to take on Wales. Hang on, is that right?
Yeah.
Oysters.
The Battle of the Sea Life.
I hadn't put 2 and 2 together.
Tune in tomorrow for the Battle of the Sea. Two giant whales
Sea
against
World,
the
coming at
oysters.
you.
One of them's flying. It's not the whales.
Awesome.
They're still on the water.
Honestly, that is such a great combination of games.
I think it's really cool from Wales as well, just because they're bringing so much fresh talent as well from VCS. Remember, that it's Glory Spend International. The same for Artemis as well. So it's just really huge to see these players at the seventh time.
175. Oh, what a prediction! And the Featherstorm is there as well. The flash for the root. Artemis and BA take a bow. The TPs in from the solo laners. The hook is there, Glory on the backside. Looking for Nuke, goes golden to buy time for his team as everybody charges on in, and Artemis remains untouched. Adam goes down as Sparta finds his redemption. It's glory across the board. The tenacity from Team Wales today. Grind it out.